Hello everybody, and Eric and I are back talking about more cards from GOT cards, or Game of Thrones cards, designed by the GOT and the DT. There's a link down in the video description where you can find the website, all these cards by expansion, as well as the Discord, and a link to donate to the art for this thing. There's a big thing we did last week. We released the first video talking about their redesigns. But basically, these are custom cards designed by this group to further extend the life of the game and provide a balanced, competitive format and tournaments as well. So there's a link down to all that where you can find all that information. Today we're talking about a lot less cards. I can hold them all kind of like open like this. And we're not comparing to any of the original designs because, well, kind of funnily enough, these are all original designs. So we're not looking at any of the Fantasy Flight games. This is the first expansion that is entirely by this committee, and it is called Forgotten Heroes. So while Eric and I are by no means pros at the game, anytime you're playing a game and you get new cards, it's super exciting. That's what I'm really excited about. I actually can grab one of these just for reference if you've maybe come to this video first, but you can kind of see that the cards have different backgrounds. So this is the official, this is the new custom one. So you'll need to place sleeves if you're planning to include these with your collection. And the difference is on the front, they're there, but they're pretty minor. You can kind of see them on the gold and just kind of the general frame, but they have the same vibe. They're very similar.
And if you are an expert at the game and you want to make comments or talk about how we've shown our whole ass by talking about these new cards that you've played with, let us know, please.
Yeah, because this is also kind of like learning for us as we kind of... This one is going to be like, I don't know how much it's going to probably change depending on how much we have to say for each card.
Yeah.
As we kind of like, if we get any like thoughts about what we'd want to do with this card or stuff like that. But really we're here most importantly to showcase these cards, showcase these designs, because the coolest thing about this is that the game keeps going. And there's passionate players making awesome content for the game that they're also not making any money on. That's a big important thing as well. Everything that is included is there to... basically just keep the game going, and you can either print the cards physically yourself or send them to a printer on everything that's included.
I'm going to try my best right now, also just up front, to just say it. So that I don't end up sounding judgmental when I love some card art and not others, but also just to literally save time on this video. I have seen in this small handful of cards already why people should be donating to this group to support their artists and illustrations, because this art is incredible.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff.
It's shocking how good this looks.
Yeah. All right. Let's dive into our first card. So this is a Baratheon card. This is Bonifer the Good. It's a 4-cost character. It's also a loyal Baratheon. So I'm gonna have to I've never really talked about these cards before. It's not like in our Arkham videos where I have it like in my muscle memory at this point. So it might be a little bit messy as I describe the cards. So this is a 4-cost loyal Baratheon character with 3 strength. It's unique and has a sword and a crown. Commander, Knight, and the 7. So a big thing about these is they are expanding on archetypes that may not be fully supported in the actual official game's lifespan, not lifestyle. So each non-neutral, the 7 character you control gains insight. So insight, I want to make sure I check this before I, actually just say the complete wrong thing. But I'm pretty sure insight is after a player wins a challenge for each participating character with the insight keyword, they draw a card. So obviously this character gives himself insight.
Yes.
Yeah, because it doesn't say each other.
Nope.
And what this guy does is, I think for me, this is just like an easy include in a deck that's running 7s, right? Unless you're he's your only non-neutral. But even then, he's just a 4-cost, 3 attack that you can send in on 2 relevant challenges and then draw some cards. If this guy triggers once, he essentially replaces himself, right?
What I also like about this card is that this card is encouraging me to play the 7 in multiple non-neutral 7 characters.
Yeah.
Every single one that I can get onto the board with this character, even if there are limitations in my deck, this character is going to make them that much better. This is an encouragement to play the 7 very much as a mixed, cohesive group.
Yeah, and what I'm just doing is I'm pretty sure there is a 7 All right. Yeah, so the Faith Militant. The 7 characters and locations you control cannot gain power. After you win a challenge, kneel your faction card to move 1 power from the losing opponent's faction card to the participating in the 7 character you control. So it doesn't really enhance that. I just wanted to see what the agenda was for the 7.
And that's what I like, because I feel like this card single-handedly kind of makes up for that. Like, if there are going to be a whole bunch of 7 characters that benefit lots of non-neutral 7 characters, it's going to feel like a nice, what are those called in Magic? Voltron decks?
Well, you build around like 1 and you pump them up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think baseline, I think the effect is still just like, once you don't get anything else, just like I said, this guy wins 1 challenge and he replaced himself in your hand, right? Even if you have like another 7 in play, and that's like a non-neutral 7, if you play him and he might not even need to attack yet to do it, right? The second this guy gets you 2 cards, like that's value.
Yeah. I also just realized I asked Voltron, you told me the exact opposite, and I was like, yeah, great.
Oh, you mean like a go wide approach?
Yeah, go wide
go
approach.
Wide, not go tall, go wide.
Yeah.
I get you.
This is a go wide card, potentially.
Yeah, I think it's a cool card. All right. Godry the Giant Slayer. That's a metal name. All right, so this is a 2-cost, non-loyal Baratheon. X strength, wild. Sword and eye for his symbols. Bestow 1. X is the number of gold Godfrey the Giant Slayer has. Well, he has 5 or more gold, he gains Intimidate. So Intimidate, you know what, let's just keep this going. Let's just look it up. So after a player wins a challenge, the attacking player, you can choose and kneel a character controlled by the losing opponent with equal or lower strength than by which it was won. And you can, and Intimidate doesn't stack. So if you have multiple people with Intimidate, you don't get to do it multiple times. It's just like if Intimidate's there, it happens. So, reaction. After you marshal or play another Knight or R'hllor card, which are conveniently the traits that this guy has, I did not say them, Godry the Giant Slayer gains 1 gold, limit once per phase. So, that's cool, right? Like, this guy gets bigger. He is only 2 costs, so there's a lot of disruption for 2-cost characters. We know that. However, this guy, you really don't, I mean, you want to put, like, at least 1 gold on him, right? You want, like, this guy really costs 3. However, this guy could scale pretty quickly to be, like, a big, heavy hitter.
What I like about him, too, is you don't necessarily have to put the Bestow on him. If you know you're going to be playing a bunch of Knights or R'hllor characters, you play it in sequence. You pay him for 2, then you slap down 2 more R'hllor characters, and right there you've saved some money to still get this 2 on the board. Which is not bad.
And like, he grows up slowly so people can see him coming, but the thing is, like, realistically, you probably don't want to spend any removal on this guy until he's scary, and at which point then he's already probably gotten value. Because this guy attacking at 3 is already probably realistically above curve, right?
Yeah.
I actually don't know. That's actually a great thing that I should do, and then like we should figure out what like curve is for this game, right? Because like in your mind, what's curve, right? Like where's like, if it's a vanilla character, it's a Stark character. There's a Stark character who's like a little poopy boy. I don't know how I can find him, but he was like, it's like 2 costs for 2 strength, and he has 2 symbols. That's probably to me my curve.
That's your
right?
that's your MTG bear.
Yeah, like that's it, right? Like it's like cost, strength, 2 symbols. Like that's to me, and then no other effects is like the curve of this game.
Yeah.
And this guy, as soon as he gets to 3, he's above that curve for me, right? That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a very interesting card. And he's very slow, because it is only once per phase.
Yes.
So actually my plan is not necessarily the strongest way to play him. But yeah, I don't know. He's interesting.
But I mean, the thing is, it's once per phase. So if you can find a way to marshal, if you can find a way to play someone in the challenging phase, that's the thing. Like this guy also, if there's like, I don't know the card pool enough, but if there's like a way, and this is how I build my decks. I look at a card, I'm like, can I take advantage of this, right? Because I'm still learning the card pool. But like, I look at this card and I'm like, is there a way for me to? Are there Knights or R'hllor characters that can come in from the shadows, right?
Coming from the shadows, that can.
Because is that playing? Is from the shadows playing?
Well, and
once again, my brains are going to be on the wall.
Could also play, you could, if you had some sort of tempo in your deck, because, I don't know, maybe you can bounce a card or play a card, then you could potentially pump him up faster. Into play, yeah.
Into play, but is it the same as playing?
Yeah, no, scroll up. Same paragraph. It says, oh, it is not considered to have been marshaled or played.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay, so not but that, but even like bring them in at like, for example, ambush, right? Could potentially do it. Like once again, this is like kind of like the exploration of the card pool. I think this character is neat though because it does that thing which I love in this game, which is get my mind moving, right? All right, let's go to my favorites, the Greyjoys.
Oh yes.
All right, so we got left hand Lucas Cod, great name, 4-cost character. 3 strength, non-loyal Greyjoy.
And unique.
And unique, thank you. Sword and an eye. It's a captain, Ironborn, and a raider. Stealth. Reaction. After no defenders are declared in a challenge in which you control an attacking raider character, place 1 gold from the treasury on a card. Okay, so bestow. This is the bestow thing. Question, as we learn this game, where does money go during the upkeep phase? Like when you gain money. Does it go on your faction card?
Yeah.
Because if it goes on your faction card, right, does that mean then you can put money on your faction card because it's a card in play?
That would be interesting.
Because I actually don't know. And I'm not going to figure that out right now, but these are the questions I'm asking myself as we're learning all this. But I mean, like, automatically this guy has bestow synergy, which is neat. Yeah.
And he's also got some really great keywords, I think.
Stealth.
We've already seen, and we've also...
traits. The traits, yeah.
We've already seen that Raider is something that they really wanted to support. I like that he's got Ironborn, and I'm curious to see where Captain comes in.
Yeah. And then also, like, looking at, like, my idea of the curve in this game, well, he doesn't have 4 strength. He has stealth, which is a very powerful ability, making up for that strength that he's lacking in my imaginary curve that I didn't think too hard about.
That we just made up today.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, now but what it does for me is allows me to now look at a card and, like, try to understand how I view its power level, right?
Yeah, because stealth, and if he does add something to the treasury, stealth plus him can be very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, like, your opponent only has 1 eye character, right? Or 1 sword character. You kill a character, just run in with him, get some gold in the process.
Exactly.
And I love bestow. So, like, this guy, going back to this one, because they're non-loyal, these 2 MFers could, like, be in the same deck.
Yeah, they could.
Right? Like, these guys could just, like, be here to, like, this guy could just be here to make this better. Is that good? I don't know. Is it fun? Hell yeah. All right, we got Cragorn, a unique... Oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
You know what? No, you're right. I just got so excited because I saw bestow on a Raider in the same house.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That we'll have some immediate synergy here. So Cragorn is a unique, non-loyal Raider from the Greyjoy clan. It's a character, costs 2 to play, 2 strength, 1 eye. So for my mind, a bit below curve. Bestow 3, though, so this guy can cost up to 5. This challenges action. Discard a gold from a Raider character you control to search the top 10 cards of your deck for an item or a weapon attachment with printed cost 3 or lower and put into play. Shuffle your deck. So this is already really cool because this guy can get gold on him.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think gold can just go on cards. Right? He just has it doesn't do anything. However, this guy allows you to use gold from any Raider character. Right?
I'm loving this.
That's really cool. That's a really cool little thing there.
I'm loving this too because this turns a character who is potentially 5 gold for being well under our imaginary curve into being something that I might just play for the 2.
Yeah, the 2 and then find other ways to get gold on things potentially. Especially
because it's any Raider character. So even if you put him out there without his bestow cost, as long as this guy's been doing something and putting money on other Raiders, you're immediately being able to take actions on this.
And however, if you look at this too, like say you put 5 gold on this, right? Let's say you put 3 gold on this. You pay the 5.
Yeah.
You get the use out of it. If you find something that costs 3, you're now up 2 gold. Right? If you do another 3, you're up 4 gold. If you do another 3, you're up 6 gold on this character. Right? Yeah. Looking at the gold values of it. While also putting like some bomb-ass shit into play, hopefully.
I'm really enjoying too that everything is basically limit once per phase so far, and has these limitations on them too.
Same thing we saw in their redesign, that it's 10 cards, not the whole deck. All right, on to the Lannisters. We got Sir Adam Marbrand, the loyal, unique Commander Knight for the Lannisters. Strength 4, cost 5, sword and crown. Reaction. After an army or knight character enters play under your control, Sir Adam Marbrand gains 1 gold, limit once per phase. Reaction. After character enters your discard pile, discard 1 gold from Sir Adam Marbrand to return it to your hand. Interesting. Limit once per phase and limit twice per round.
Oh no, there's so many decks to build around this guy. This guy's armies and knights. This is so much fun.
That's cool.
Oh. This is so good. I love this card.
Yeah, no, that is really cool. Also, once again, can work with this guy, because, like, he is loyal, this guy is non-loyal, so you could build a Lannister Baratheon deck with these two. That's really interesting.
And I've struggled so hard to play with armies. Like, you've used them very effectively against me. In fact, I underplay armies. But this makes me want to build an armies deck.
Yeah, because then if your army goes... Like, armies are expensive to play, but you're a Lannister, so you'll have a lot of money. But, I mean, just like a gold to return it to your hand and enter your discard pile, which I'm pretty sure also would be like I'm pretty sure sacrificing goes to the discard pile.
What's also interesting, too, is that this isn't gold that you're paying from anywhere else.
No, it comes just from him.
And he doesn't cost, he just gains the gold, too. So he's actually his own little mini economy.
Yeah, you don't have to pay any extra to get on there.
Yeah. This is so good.
It's a cool card. Yeah. All right. Sir Harris Swift. This is a 4-cost, non-loyal, unique Lannister from the Night Lord and Small Council. Only has a crown, 4 strength. Action, move 1 gold from your gold pool to a card without gold. Limit twice per round, and has +1 gold for your economy each turn. That's cool. It's a cool effect.
I like him. He's a little under curve for his icons, but everything else he does is amazing.
Yeah, but he also gives you some income that comes in on that as well, which I think makes up for it a good chunk. But also just like this now allows you to potentially just like, you know, if you spend the gold on this, you don't need to wait to put more gold on.
Yeah.
Because this is also an action, right? So this is not like marshalling phase. So if you've already used this guy's ability, you could just immediately use it again if there's no gold on it, right?
I'm also enjoying the prevalence of non-loyal characters that are unique. That's actually, I feel, really opening up the game in terms of mixing and matching some cards.
All right, on to the Martells. We have Malario of Norvos. This is a unique, non-loyal Martell, 4-cost character, 3 strength with an eye and a crown. It's a lady. Well, Ariana Martell is in your hand. Reduce the cost to marshal her by 1. That's fun. While you control Doran Martell, he gains immune to opponent's plot effects. Quentin Martell, he gets +2 strength. Tristan Martell, he gains insight. So this is basically just like Martell family tribal, right?
This is amazing.
That's very fun.
Especially with Doran Martell. Because I think Duran's one of those cards that gets that can boost the number of plot cards you have. And so being able to save him from plot card effects or being able to make him immune to plot card effects allows you to keep your deck protected and keep your deck rolling for a little while.
This card like doesn't it doesn't excite my deck building side, right? But it is just like a fun value card. It makes everything better, and it also kind of is like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build the Martell deck. Because it affects 4 different Martells.
Yeah, and each of those Martells, I think, is in a different Martell theme. So this actually, because I'm already obsessed with Martells, this is actually, to me, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll branch out to other Martells.
I wonder if this Forgotten Heroes is they're all, like, unique characters.
I wonder, too.
That are, like, in the story but weren't in the game. I wonder if that's, like, the thing that's happening here. Because they're all unique characters.
They are all unique.
Because it's all just characters for this one.
Except for there's an
agenda.
Yeah, there's an agenda and a banner. Spoilers.
All right, the Tattered Prince. This is another Martell character. 3-cost Shadow. Non-loyal. It's unique, commander, and mercenary. 4-cost, every icon. Bestow 2, Renown, and Shadow 2. So Renown is if they succeed in a challenge, they get a power. Force reaction. After a plot card enters your used pile, return the Tattered Prince to the shadows unless you discard 1 gold from him. Oh, okay. That's neat. That's a neat thing. Like, he is above curve.
Yes.
Right? But he will go away.
And he'll go away at a weird time, too.
And notably, he has Renown, so you probably don't want this guy to go away. Right? I think that's a neat card.
But he's also interesting in the fact that he kind of self-protects from things like Milk of the Poppy. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't, because that would actually eliminate his traits. Never mind.
Though the icons?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the one. But
yeah.
I do think that this is a neat design. And also because, as we've seen, there's ways to put gold on people, right? That this can then, you could basically just like load this guy up so he doesn't leave.
100%.
Right.
But you might also choose not to. You might just keep bouncing him in and out of shadows.
Yeah.
Which is like it's not the worst choice. He's interesting.
It is neat. Yeah, because we haven't really played a dedicated shadow deck.
No.
All right, on to the Night's Watch. This is Dywyn, a unique ranger, non-loyal, 6 cost, 4 strength, sword in an eye, stealth, also increases your reserve value by 1. Each Night Watch character you control with stealth does not kneel when declared as an attacker in a sword challenge.
Okay, that's interesting value that he adds to the table. I don't know enough about the Night's Watch to know how many of them have swords, but the fact that he doesn't kneel...
I mean, he doesn't... Yeah, he basically gives you a free stealth military challenge each turn.
And he has stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that's what you said.
Because, he does it himself.
That's actually very
Because then you can use him on the eyeball check for the next one. Like, you run a sword stealth, kill something, eye stealth, discard a card.
Or keep him back to protect against a stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strong card. I think that's strong.
And a thing I find very interesting about characters not kneeling on fight challenges is it means that they don't open themselves up to then being hit by a fight challenge in return.
Definitely.
Because you're going to want to stealth past the fighter.
because you could just throw this in, right? You could just throw him in.
Wild.
All right, we got Leathers. This is a unique, non-loyal Ranger Wildling from the Night's Watch. 3 strength, 4 cost, sword and an eye. Each giant character you control gains an eye icon. Each Wildling character you control gains the Night's Watch affiliation. Reaction: after Leathers enter play, search your deck for a giant character, reveal it and add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. This is like the card that I like because I'm like, I want to now build giant deck. I want giant to go smash, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the card's fun. I think this is like what I like. You know,
I think depending on what wildlings would gain from the Night Watch affiliation, you also do have an alternate.
Yeah, an alternate
play.
path to take with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a cool card. All right, we got good old Rickard Karstark. This is a 5 cost, unique, loyal Stark character with 5 strength and 2 icons, a sword and a crown. He's from House Karstark and he's also a lord. Challenges action: kneel the north location to have each player sacrifice a character or location. Limit once per phase. That's a spooky ability. That's a spooky ability.
So spooky.
Reaction: after a winter plot card is revealed, return to the north location from your discard pile to your hand. Limit once per phase. Yeah, this is I like it. The art's also beautiful. I think this is my favorite one I've seen so far. Mm-hmm. I think that's some nice art.
He scares me. So one, he's actually on our curve.
Yep, he is on our curve.
And his power is potentially, if you build around it, you can be sacrificing the same location over and over again.
Yep.
Wild.
Yeah, no, I think that's really cool. This is another one that, like Godry, makes me kind of want to like build a deck around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. All right, we have Harwin. Harwin is a 3 cost, 3 strength, unique Brotherhood and Rolor non-loyal Stark character. Has 2 icons, a sword and a crown. So once again, it's on our imaginary curve. Mm-hmm. Bestow 2, no attachments except Warhorse, because he's on a horse.
Yeah.
Action: during a challenge in which you control a participating non-loyal character, discard 1 gold from Harwin to choose a character you control with 2 or more keywords and have it participate in the challenge on your side. Limit once per phase.
That's a fun synergy with our guy we keep trying to create synergies with.
Which one's that one?
The X-strength person.
Oh,
Because he's not loyal.
He's not loyal. He doesn't have 2 keywords, though, so you have to give him another one.
Oh, yeah.
But when he has 5 or more gold, he does gain Intimidate. I don't know if Bestow is a keyword, but I'm going to wager it is. Mm-hmm. Let me just look up Bestow. But I'm pretty sure Bestow's got to be a keyword, right? Because it's a keyword ability. Yeah, so when this guy gets Intimidate, that definitely does synergize.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, he's okay. I like him.
Yeah, I don't see... I mean, he's a Rolor as well, which, as you just said, works with this Godry the Giant Slayer, right? Mm-hmm. He pays and makes Godry big, and then can do some things. I don't know the value... I kind of know the value of this during a challenge in which you control, like, to add someone to the challenge, is that you can, like, you can put in just enough that your opponent feels compelled to play something, and then you can bring something into the challenge.
Yeah.
Right? Sorry, I'm just suddenly losing my voice.
It's not like we've been just talking nonstop for hours.
Yeah, not like that at all.
Yeah, I'd have to see more from R'hllor at this stage. Or Brotherhood.
All right. Seems like a character you would name in one of your campaigns. This is Reznak Mo Reznak. This is a 4-cost ally steward non-loyal Targaryen with 2 strength. It has an eye and a crown. Bestow 3. Reaction: after character is discarded from your hand, Reznak Mo Reznak gains 1 gold. Then you may discard X gold from him or from him to put that character into play from your discard pile, where X is that character's printed cost, limit twice per round. That's a cool effect.
That is a cool effect. That is well below our curve, but it's a very cool effect.
Yeah, I mean, I think like Reznak is not going to do anything, right?
No.
Like he's going to like defend you and then maybe put some things, but like already there is, for example, the one we just talked about, that the Dothraki who discards 2 Targaryen cards from his hand to come into play. So this could essentially put 2 characters into play with that.
And he does gain the 1 gold per discarded character, so you might actually want to set that up intentionally to kind of help him pay.
Yeah, you can just discard 2.
And then put one of those 2 into play.
Yeah, that's 6.
Yeah.
If they're cheap, you can put both of them into play.
Yeah.
It's a lot of power. That's a cool character.
X is equal to that character's printed cost. Okay, I was about to point out that you could, in theory, discard 2 Quothos to put a Quotho into play and then put those 2 No, but that's not how that works.
Yeah. We got Halden Halfmaester. This is a non-loyal companion maester, unique character from the Targaryen clan. 3 cost, 2 strength, eyeball and a crown. Reaction: after you win a challenge in which Haldon Halfmaester is participating, reveal the top card of your deck. Place 1 gold from the treasury on a card with the same card type. If it's an event, draw it. If it's an Aegon Targaryen, put him into play. Spin the wheel!
Yeah, that's interesting.
This is an interesting card. Like, I think the top one, the place 1 gold, is a very strong effect if you're building around it. And I mean, like, this also can just be card draw, right? Because, like, characters bestow, and attachments bestow, and locations bestow. So, like, if you built your deck properly, and I mean, obviously you also probably want to put Aegon Targaryen into this, I think that there can be some good value on this guy. He's kind of fun.
Yeah, he's interesting. I like him.
He's also a maester, which is, they do have a lot of synergy.
They do.
Yeah. All right, we got Orton Merryweather. This is the Tyrell, non-loyal, unique Lord Small Council. 4 cost, 2 strength, eye and a crown. Reaction: after a player marshal or plays a Small Council card, return an event from your discard pile to your hand, limit once per phase. Notably, it's after a player does it.
Yep.
Interrupt: when Orton Merryweather leaves play, you put a non-unique spy character into play from your hand. Wild. This guy also seems fun, and like he'd be very fun to build around.
Well, and given that he's in Tyrell, which we're already seeing has a bunch of bounce mechanics, you can actually potentially get a spy into play without actually getting rid of him. If he leaves play and then returns, you're still good.
And then once again, that question of that, I hope maybe someone answered in the last video, but obviously because we're in the same clothes, we're recording this on the same day. Like, do they see their own reaction when they enter play?
Yeah, that's
Because, like, that's the question that I think can really change this guy. Because if this guy is a 4 cost, but he also brings an event with him, right?
That's a great point. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's, like, I don't think it makes him, like, particularly playable or unplayable if he does in either direction. Because, I mean, I think this guy is just, like, value. Like you said, the bounce engines, right? It's a cool card. Cool card.
It's very interesting.
All right, we got Sir Emmon Coy.
Koi.
This is 2 cost, 2 strength, unique, non-loyal, Tyrell, Kingsguard Knight, Rainbow Guard. So a lot of very relevant keywords. Only a sword, but he has Bestow 1. And then after you initiate a challenge, as a reaction, you can discard a gold from him to raise the claim value on your revealed plot card by 1 until the end of the challenge. Then, if he has no gold, you kill the motherfucker. That's a very powerful ability.
Yes.
Yeah. Because, like, this guy can stay back and defend if you need him. He's super cheap, right? You also don't need to bestow him if you just need, like, a chump to die, right? But also, like, raising the claim on a plot card is a very powerful effect, especially in what I've seen with you do with Tyrells, which can have, like, really explosive, out-of-nowhere power boosts to your challenges, right?
No, I think this is actually a very interesting and kind of fun card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And I mean, like, as soon as you also, like, put more than 1 gold on him, this guy's going to the moon.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because
he's also non-loyal, so if you have a sacrifice deck, you have a dude who can blow himself up to get you value.
I was going to say it works really well with this guy, but the Edmund is already dead by then.
Yeah.
As soon as there's no gold on him.
Yeah.
All right, on to some neutrals. We have a few cards left. We have Vargo Hoat, a commander mercenary unique character, 6 cost, 5 strength, every icon.
I'm already liking
So
this.
that's good. Bestow 2. Reaction after card with Bestow enters play, it gains 1 gold, limit twice per phase. That's very good for Bestow decks. Action, move 1 gold from Vargo Hoat to a character with 2 or less gold. Until the end of the phase, Vargo Hoat gains that character's keywords.
I love this character.
Yeah. So, realistically, I'm going to say right now, I think this card probably does. I think cards don't see their reactions when they enter play.
Yeah.
Because then this guy basically just gets to bestow for free for 1, right?
But it is limit twice per phase, so he might actually. He might actually.
Yeah. I feel like not, though. I don't know.
I don't know either. All I know is that regardless, this man is riding a zebra, and I am here for it.
He is riding a zebra.
Because he is so good.
Now, this is like one of those cards where you look at it and you're like, oh, this helps the bestow thing so much, right?
Yeah.
But I like because it helps, it really helps character bestow, right? Mm-hmm. And, like, he gains that character's keywords. So in this one, there is, like, Intimidate. Renown.
Renown's good. There was somebody with stealth, I'm pretty sure.
No, he didn't have bestow, though.
Oh, that's funny.
But, okay, so move 1 gold from a character with 2 or less.
You don't need
bestow. You can just move gold to people.
He's good. I like him.
It's a good card.
He's also he's naturally a neutral. He's got all the icons.
Yep.
5 strength. Everything about him I like.
Yep. But what do you think of this cat? We got Balerion. This is a 2 cost, unique, 1 strength cat. Has a sword. Ambush 2, no attachments except cat.
Wait, cats can attach to cats?
Yep. Balerion cannot be killed.
Let's go.
An action, kneel Balerion to discard 1 gold from a card.
Let's go. I love this cat.
So one thing that's really cool here is that within this own set, they have anti-set mechanic, right?
Yes.
Which is a very important tool, right? Because it allows them to basically have an answer, and they don't need to wait till their next expansion to be like, that got out of hand, right? I mean, like, these are also very rigorously tested, right? By the people who design it. But once again, no matter what, you get it into more people's hands and suddenly they find something you didn't. What this does is it allows them to basically just, like, solve the problems a little bit.
I will also say, I like that the card is dedicated to the ZGZ tournament, which
really cool.
I want to know more about now. What happened that generated this cat? But I also... a character that cannot be killed. Even though he doesn't have a huge amount of board presence, he doesn't change a huge amount about the board state, this is a strong ambush.
Yeah. And also, I mean, the other one, like, one of the ones on top of my head, I believe also Davos Seaworth has that text. So he's in strong company, this cat.
He is.
Or rather, Davos is.
Davos.
But yeah, I also like the card dedicated to the tournament because I feel like what this does is very important as well. It makes me know that, like, things are happening, right?
It makes me want to know more, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, we have an agenda.
I have to get over this cat.
Free companies. It's a banner. Each neutral character you control without gold gets -1 strength. Action. Kneel your faction card to place 1 gold from the treasury on either a card without gold or a mercenary character. So, yeah, once again, it really helps the gold stuff out.
Yeah.
Really, I think this is a really nice card.
Like, yeah, I love its balance, too.
Yeah. Very fun. Very fun. All right, and then we have a plot card to close things off. This is The Pointy End, a scheme in a war, 5 reserve, 4/3/2. When revealed, choose a character. If there are 2 or more attachments attached to that character, discard each attachment from it. Otherwise, discard each duplicate and each power from it. That is some big renown cancellation.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's a very strong thing.
That can absolutely swing a game.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Actually, this brings up an interesting question for me because I'm already seeing a very similar kind of order that I see here, which is 4-3-1.
Yeah.
What do you think is the standard? Like, when you look at a plot card, what do you want even beyond its revealed abilities in terms of gold, turn order, and the one I can't remember?
Claim.
Claim.
So, generally, I think that, like, if my claim is 2, I'm expecting low money and low initiative. Or high initiative, but there's some sort of, balanced effect. So, like, I get something, you get something. I generally like to, what I'm looking for is either high economy or high initiative. Like, that's where I go first. I think I need to look more at claim, though. Because I think you run more high claim cards than I do. And I think sometimes that can really put me in the corner. But generally, if it has, 5 gold, I'm interested in that as a setup card.
Yeah.
If it has 5 claim, I'm looking at that as more of a mid-game card. If it has 5 initiative, and if it has higher claim, I'm looking at more as a late-game card. And I like to kind of balance that all in there. Well, that is the Forgotten Heroes expansion, designed by the GOT and the DT, and this is really cool. Is that your... Yeah, well, you know what? Let's do it. Let's each pick our favorite card from the pack.
I love Balerion. I don't think Balerion actually does a huge amount to change up your game state, but I think that Balerion is a fun counter card, and I like a card that cannot be killed. I find that a very interesting card to play around. That's a card I want to put attachments on.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I think mine is going to be...
No attachments except cat, though.
Yeah. I think it's going to be this guy, Cragorn. I think this one really intrigues me in, it's in my favorite class, so, already that's easy, right? Well, I like all the classes. Greyjoys are my favorite. And I think that it's a really, it's an effect that really makes me think, and I think it'd be really fun to play with. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Once again, all the relevant links are down in the YouTube description. We'll be back next week talking about the next expansion, which I don't know the name of, but I can find out the name of with the power of Jade Sea. Jade Sea. So we'll be looking at those cards next week. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. And as always, a GG's.